Hello everybody, Basilisk Fang here, and welcome back to NieR Replicant. We have one side quest that we started working on, which was the Lost Son, or the Runaway Son. I don't remember which one it is. However, he tricked us. He said that he would go home if we did something for him in Seafront, and then he decided to go all the way over to Facade. Or at least that's where they said he was probably going. Maybe he's dead on the road somewhere. I'm not saying that's the result I'm hoping for, I'm just saying it's a possibility. I want to know how that kid managed to get from Seafront all the way over to Facade without his dad noticing him, because as far as I'm aware, the only way to get to Facade is to go through this village. Especially with that hat, that funny hat he's got. Seems like he would stand out in a crowd. Maybe it's like a weird RPG item where it actually gives him like maximum stealth even though it looks really stupid. Either that or it gives him like maximum charisma, so when anybody sees him he can just go, "No, you don't see me," and then they're like, "Oh, I don't see anything." Is there a fast travel system in this game? I just thought about that. NieR Automata, you at least had the option of using a fast travel system. I don't know if there's anything like that in this game. Alright, assuming that this kid could even get into Facade, he would stick out like a sore thumb because he's in a weird hat. These guys are all just in weird masks. Of course, it would be nice if, you know, somebody had seen him and could tell me about it. Oh, you guys seem particularly chatty. What can I do for you guys? You're not the one I wanted to talk to. A man moved into that house the other day. He certainly wears a very strange hat. Aha, that sounds like my guy. Shockingly enough, he fits in perfectly. He even speaks our language and knows most of the rules. How does that happen? I hear this new outsider came here after fleeing a terrible home life.
So he's disguised himself as one of the masked people, eh? No wonder his trail went cold.
Interesting. Is he still wearing the funny hat, or does he actually look like these people now? Because it's hard to distinguish one from the other.
He's gone through a lot of trouble trying to lose us. I can't wait to finally catch him.
Where could he be? Where could he be? They said that house, but that doesn't really narrow it down for me. Oh, this house.
Hey, you're coming with us.
Yeah.
Oh man, why you gotta be all like following me and stuff?
I forgot his voice sounded like that.
Fine, let me just pack and then I'll... Oh my gosh, there's a giant shade behind you!
Yeah, we're not falling for that 2 times. I mean, you didn't technically do it the first time, but I know your game. And he's gonna be gone. Yep.
Oh, are you kidding me?
That's on you, bud. I could smell that a mile away.
He surely aims to flee the city, though he can't have gone very far yet.
Does that mean he's successfully fled the city, or we're gonna intercept him? Am I gonna find him outside? Kaine, did you see a guy in a weird hat come by here?
Oh man, again? Alright, fine, let me just...
He's heading for the eastern road. We must catch him
Alright,
before
respect.
leaves
He didn't
desert.
even like try to distract me. He just went for it. Oh, you have to like actually chase him. I thought he was just gonna be standing out here somewhere. Hey, dude, there's like scorpions and wolves out there, man. Ha, it's a good thing you run like an idiot. Caught you.
Oh my gosh, look! There's a huge pack of shades!
No, if you had said pack of wolves, I would have believed you.
I'm not falling for that again.
Alright, we're just gonna let him get away. We're probably gonna have to go hands-on with this guy, if I had to guess. I can't talk to him. I'm guessing I have to wait for him to get to a certain point.
What's that big thing on the right?
You mean that chasm? It's called a chasm.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and I shall smite you with unholy magic.
And Kaine's very omae wa mo shinderu right now. Alright, come on, dude. You're never gonna get away from me. I'm faster than you. I don't succumb to the heat like you probably do. Am I gonna end up chasing him all the way back to the village? Is that how this is gonna get resolved? We're gonna chase him all the way back to my village, and then that's how the quest is gonna end? Oop.
It's a pack of wolves, man!
Alright, that one might be true. Is there a pack of wolves? No. You're a fat liar.
I told you, I'm not falling for... Oh crap, it is a pack of wolves.
I don't see no wolves. Oh. There's the wolves. There's a lot of them. Kinda help me out here. Aha. Wolf is no match for magic gun.
I didn't think I'd actually run into wolves for real.
Dude, they're all over the desert.
Are you ready to go home yet?
Hell yeah, man! This adventure stuff's like way too scary for me. From now on, I'm gonna stick close to home and stuff.
Good. Now let's go tell the family.
I am curious to know what his home life was like. Is it a scenario where like he's definitely just an overreacting teenager, or does he legitimately have a terrible home life? I am curious. He better be standing with his dad. I'm gonna be mad if he's not standing over by his dad. Oh, I don't see either of them. Did I screw something? Oh, no, there's a house here. I see. Aha, you go inside the house.
Nobody's here.
Never mind, you don't go inside the house.
I believe they left us a note.
Thanks to your help, my son has returned to take up the family business. We have decided to move to a new land to begin anew and thoroughly train him to carry on the family name.
Well, that's sort of anticlimactic. I wonder what the business was anyway.
We've been doing a lot of anticlimactic quests lately, and I don't know if that was on purpose by the developers.
Hey, are you friends with the people who lived here?
I'm sorry, who's talking?
No, not really. Why?
Because the goddamn bastards borrowed money from everyone in the village and then skipped town.
Oh, they're both swindlers.
Apparently their son ran away because he wanted to escape a life of crime. But then some idiot brought him back.
Ooh. If this idiot knew who he was and turned himself in, would he receive favorable treatment?
Well, I guess we know the family business now.
To think we did not even get paid for this absurd misadventure. Oh well. Perhaps we should tally it up as an expensive life lesson and move on.
No, I think we are owed some money. Well, we finished the quest, but I want there to be a new quest now that says hunt those bastards down and get my money back. Or not necessarily back, just sort of the money I'm owed. They didn't, like, take any from me. That would really suck if they were like, oh, and I need to borrow some money just to tide me over, and then they'd skip town. That would suck. Well, let's check in with Devila really quick just to see if she's got anything good for us, but we might go and continue the story. Nah, it doesn't look like Devila's got anything.
What have we got today? Doesn't look like I have any work for you right now. Come back next time you're free, okay?
I mean, I'm free now, but whatever. Well, if Tweedledum doesn't have anything for us, let's go talk to Tweedledee. I'm sure she's got something important that we need to know. All right, Popola, I hope you have some good news for me.
What's up, Popola?
Oh, hi. I just got a strange letter in the mail.
Do tell. Dearest Popola, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. I was hoping I might be able to get your advice dream on the matter. Recently there have been dream reports, dream of a certain dream of dream, evil dream, empty dream, curse dream, evil dream, words, dream, and dream, someone, dream. I wonder if this has anything to do with the dream that I had.
That is certainly one bizarre piece of writing.
And Grimoire should know, he's full of bizarre writing.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth. It's a wooded area up north.
Sounds pretty. Is it like Pascal's village?
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will?
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
We do?
Oh, well, all right. Thank you.
I'm confused. Do we have business there? It's been a while since we've done anything story related. Did Kaine say something about the Forest of Myth? For some reason it vaguely... Oh, no, that's right. We had the dream said something about the Forest of Myth. That's right. I remember now. I've been doing side hustles for so long, I didn't even remember my main hustle. All right, so I'm guessing it's out this way. Mostly because the red X says it's out this way. I don't have time for you shades. I'm in a hurry. Ooh, big scary gate. I wonder where this goes. Cutscene, very nice. Very Lost Woods-ish. I see the person in the corner. It's very Lost Woods-ish, actually. Look, there's the Deku tree.
It sure is quiet here.
It sure is.
Silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm certain of it.
I mean,
You know,
there wouldn't be a
little
game
optimism
otherwise.
now and then wouldn't hurt, Vice.
Such cheek.
I also know the Deku tree isn't in the Lost Woods. It's in the Kokiri Forest. But shut up. I also didn't think I'd get dumped straight into like a village. I thought for sure we would like have to travel through an area first, but whatever. Ooh, strength capsule. Defense capsule. I don't know what these things are. If I had to guess, they're like temporary strength and defense power-ups. All right, you seem like you're probably some sort of leader or person of authority here. Okay. Like the words you're speaking?
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
You ain't making any sense, dog.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Well, this is gonna be bizarre. There's a big-ass text box. Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
Interesting.
What's going on?
The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
Interesting. Are we, like, narrating what's going on?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
The mayor stared at Basilisk and Vice.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Vice stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here.
He said,
Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes.
said the
I
mayor.
think you have.
In other words,
Said Basilisk.
we caught the death dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Basilisk's suspicion, Vice exploded with rage.
Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
Does Vice even need to sleep?
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Basilisk had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Bye! Basilisk and Vice racked their brains, but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss does not engage in meaningless conversations.
You do kind of talk a lot, though. The mere suggestion that Vice chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator.
Wow, I feel personally attacked.
It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Vice looked skyward, as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing.
You're doing it now, I have commanded it.
Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Basilisk like a contagion. Wait, said Basilisk suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Vice aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or... oh, what the hell was it? A sheep? Cried Vice suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Basilisk's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Basilisk. That sounds right, he said as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the Death Dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along, but I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Vice immediately fired back. "I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams," he said, "but perhaps you should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it." The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. "I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I would know about it." He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. "My village was beautiful," he said to no one in particular, "and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens." Basilisk nodded in agreement. "Huh? Wait a second. I didn't nod." "Look, if we can be of any help," said Basilisk, "just ask." "Now hold on, I did not just say that." "Silence!" cried Vice. The grimoire looked from Basilisk to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. "Grimoire Vice's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor. You told us that nothing can exist in this dream without you knowing of it. But yet, you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes?" The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. "Oh my God," he said. "You're right. You're right. I had no idea you were coming." "The human imagination is a limitless engine," said Vice, "and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out." "Thank you," said the mayor. "I don't know how I can repay you." "Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place." The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. "Good luck, you two," he called at the departing forms of Basilisk and Vice. "We're all counting on you." As Basilisk slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. "I saw this man once before," he thought, "but where?" Basilisk's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours later, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident that they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once, he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Basilisk to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Basilisk snapped. "Okay, Vice, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk." Basilisk leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. "How could this stupid forest be so big?" he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out a volume that rattled his teeth. Basilisk slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. "Vice, what's going on?" Basilisk could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled, and then, just as Basilisk's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Shreet, 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 shreet. Shakaka, shakakaka, shakakaka. These are my best insect noises. Chick-chicky, chick-chicky, chick-chicky. Woo, woo, woo-ma, woo, woo, woo-ma. These are, what am I doing? Chic, chic, seek, chic, 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 seek. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Basilisk began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out. They were asking a question. 1, with it is lacking. 2, 2 with it is ideal. 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages! Is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? A secret? A seesaw? How should I know? Interesting. All right, well, let's start with the seesaw, right? So 1 person on a seesaw, not very fun. 2 people on a seesaw, that's the way to go. 3 on a seesaw is dangerous. I guess it depends on where the 3rd person is on the seesaw, right? If they're like sitting in the middle, not even sitting, if they're like standing on it while the other 2 are going back and forth, I could see how that's dangerous, but otherwise, is it really that dangerous? And then in terms of a secret, 1 with it is lacking. I guess so. Like, what's the point of a secret if nobody knows it? But also that is kind of the point of a secret, is nobody else is supposed to know it. 2 with it is ideal. Well, that makes sense because like 2 people would share a secret. 3 with it is dangerous, I guess, because that means it's no longer a secret. Honestly, I've convinced myself into the seesaw answer because the secret one seems like a stretch. I'm seesaw, final answer. Something that's ideal with 2 people but dangerous with 3. Oh, it's a seesaw. Vice's mouth flew open, but before he could say anything, the world suddenly shifted. Reen, what? Reen, what? Shiki. When Basilisk came to, he was once again surrounded by the sounds of insects. The cries of the insects were creating words he had heard somewhere before. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? Oh boy. I mean, come on, I thought seesaw was the best possible answer. I'm guessing they want to go with secret. But I honestly, like, the more I think about it, the more stretched that answer feels. But whatever, let's go with a secret. Inwardly furious that Vice left the task to him, Basilisk sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? The sound of the insects stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Basilisk like a rippling wave, opening a new path. This is stupid. I don't understand why it's a secret. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Basilisk moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Basilisk after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Basilisk picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. Oh, that's kind of cool. Too bad we're reading it instead of experiencing it. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? It's light. Absurdly easy, barked Vice. Now answer it. Basilisk grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right, after all. This one is pretty easy. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Sunlight. I was close. I said light, but I guess moonlight is still light. The answer is sunlight. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Vice softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey, look, cried Basilisk, awaking Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Basilisk walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Basilisk, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end the night with 3. What am I? Basilisk tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. "If we wish to engage this man in conversation," said Vice, "it seems we must answer his riddle." "Yeah, I suppose," said Basilisk. "Well, at least it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I?" So this one is easy if you know the Greek philosophy? The Greek mythology behind it. I don't even remember who the character was, but he was asked by the Sphinx the same riddle, and the answer ended up being a man. Because he begins by crawling on 4 legs, and then when he's an adult, he can walk on 2, but then as an old man, he needs a cane, so he has 3. I'm sure most people have heard that before, but if you haven't, that's the answer. A man. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried Basilisk. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor, you know. Now listen to my words. I'm not the mayor, you know, is what I read that with the wrong inflection. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Basilisk watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Basilisk and Vice returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it. You actually made it back. His left hand grasped Basilisk's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right hand seized Vice by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah! By the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Basilisk withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the death dream seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Basilisk filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the 3 of them lay down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Basilisk cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Basilisk and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten? Continued Vice. It is words that control the death dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor, the first time I felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Basilisk shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an odd voice. We did. I'm back. He blinked once, and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. You two have no idea how much this means. The death dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to... Well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Basilisk and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor, as a wry smile crossed his lips. You shall relearn in short order, I'm sure, said Vice. For now, you should return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on his unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. Apparently there's a divine tree in the middle of the village. This is a holy tree, he explained when the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Sounds a lot like the great Deku tree. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Vice. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. All right, you've caught my attention. Basilisk and Vice could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Vice, it is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, Basilisk mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world does that mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. Basilisk tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. Basilisk gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. And what exactly is going on here? That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
I mean, what is normal, really? There's shades running around.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Oh, we obtained a sealed verse. Dark execution magic. Summon magical spikes from the ground to impale enemies. Oh, we did this one in the tutorial. Yeah, that's right. Charge to increase the number of spikes. I actually might be interested in that one, because if I remember correctly, it impaled at least the smaller shades and immobilized them. So you can use that and then hack at them with a sword. So I might actually equip that one, because I'm not using the Dark Lance a whole lot.
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me.
Do not look a gift verse in the mouth.
It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
See? Don't look a gift verse in the mouth. Alright, so I had some thoughts pop up while we were reading that story, but I didn't want to, like, derail the story to discuss them. My first thought was, this is kind of lazy, it'd be much cooler to just, like, play this out. I'd much prefer to play through a dream sequence than read that much text. But, you know, they were going for a specific theme with the words commanding everything and blah, 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 so I'll forgive it, it's just I would have preferred to actually play through the dream sequence. And they do a lot of stuff in that in NieR Automata too. A lot of the really awesome side stuff in NieR Automata is actually like kind of text-based. But also him saying like, I saw a version of you from a previous life or something like that, like some other version of you is basically what he said. And I'm gonna guess that somehow relates back to the intro sequence that seems to happen sort of in modern day in like the abandoned grocery store. And there were other books there. So, and that's something I haven't really talked about. It seemed like there were at least 2 books in the store, right? I had the one, like my character, the main character had the one, and he was using the Dark Hand and the Dark Lance and all that stuff. And he was like not happy with the book. But then as he was fighting the shades outside, Yona opened up a book as well, and I'm assuming it was a different book. So I'm assuming that like my character had the Grimoire Vice and Yona had opened up the Grimoire Noir, and that's part of what caused all of this to happen. I mean, it's all conjecture, and honestly, I'm not gonna actually know until like we get a real explanation from the game, because that's how NieR Automata was as well. You couldn't really predict anything. They would sort of drop hints, and then they'd be like, bam, everything is different. So those are sort of my thoughts on that. Also, this took forever because there was a ton of reading, so I'm actually gonna have to leave it here. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I certainly appreciate it. We'll see what we can do to help out these villagers. But the story is getting deeper. I like it when the story gets deeper. I just don't want to get behind on side quests and stuff as well, so we have to sort of flip-flop and pace ourselves. But if you liked this video, make sure you leave a like on it. That way I know that you liked it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that, because I upload new videos every single week of gameplays, so I'll keep doing the NieR Replicant stuff. But I also have old stuff like NieR Automata and Dishwasher Vampire Smile, and even like really old things that are even crappier quality, but are still like entertaining to watch that you can check out. But I do all sorts of other stuff as well, besides what I just do weekly. So you gotta be subscribed to the channel to make sure you don't miss anything that I do like sort of special. But other than that, thanks again, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye!